Magical Meetups. I'm Candace.
And I'm Nicole. This podcast is about growing and learning through discovery of all things metaphysical and supernatural. Okay, so we back. Hello. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. We are hopefully not going to be as chaotic as last one.
I know. Last week it was very chaotic.
Mm-hmm. I was very chaotic.
I said we because I didn't want to ever throw you under the bus by yourself, because if it's going to run us over, it's going to take both of us out.
Oh, that was so sweet. Yeah, Scott would probably be driving it.
Probably. I actually tried to convince him to join us on this podcast. But he said maybe next time.
It's always maybe next time. We're going to have to we're going to have to talk about something he really wants to talk about.
Yes.
Is he super interested in like Bigfoot or something?
He does like the whole ghost hunting thing, so he might like the lore of it. He actually went to Skeely Bridge with me. Yes, so I think he would like that one.
Okay, well maybe Scott will have a little appearance on one of our supernatural ones, which we'll probably get to maybe like a couple of months or something, because we're still collecting information and histories, and it's a little more work to find and find like true accounts and stuff, like not BS that people just put out there.
Right.
So what we are talking about today is what it takes to start your metaphysical journey, being a practitioner, spiritual journey, being a witch kind of situation.
So basically things that you're going to need.
Yeah. And you don't have to classify yourself. So don't think just because we said practitioner, witch, things like that, you don't have to identify like that.
No.
These are mainly known as like beginner supplies, or some people call them baby witch supplies, like if you're looking it up. They're just like some beginner things you need. So first off,
most important.
The most important thing you need is yourself. Crystals.
And I would recommend like your chakra crystals, things that would go with that, and like protection type crystals.
Yeah. And we'll get into what like some names and suggestions in a few. But like, just saying, if you're trying to get some good crystals, Rustic and Rebellious is a great place to get it. They have an online store. It's wild.
Yes.
Candace.
And I just updated. We now have blind date with a tarot deck.
Ooh.
Yes.
So, if you're looking for some stuff, I'm just saying, you can find them on Facebook. And I'm sure the website's linked there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's awesome. Rustic and Rebellious. Okay. So, aside from crystals, you need
herbs.
Herbs, of course. We've already talked about those. Little jars or bottles, or even like mason jars. Like, it doesn't have to be the like weirdly shaped, beautiful jars.
Yeah, it does. Yes, everybody likes those and everybody wants those, but you don't have to go spend $100 on some jars.
Yeah, you can just get some mason jars. I've bought like a bulk mason jar, like when they're on sale, and just like got a whole thing of them, and then when I need them, just pull them out and use them. And then also a suggestion with the herbs is during Christmas time, do you ever see those gift boxes where it's like 25 seasonings or 25 herbs, and they're in a package?
Yes.
Yeah, those are a good time to get like herbs and stuff like that.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I got it was like 25, and they were in the magnetic little jars.
Oh.
Yes.
So was it like that aisle where they have a bunch of different gifts for people?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the gift where
like
it's already made.
Yeah.
It's over by where, like, it's like you can buy the soap, the deodorant thing for your nephew who, you know, you don't know what else to buy him.
Yeah.
And what else?
So, nature treasures.
Yeah, so stuff you find in nature. So, you know, if there's a stick that you're wanting to use, or, you know, you wanting to, a seashell that you found, or a rock that you found.
I found a hagstone.
Oh, really?
Yes, at the lake one time. So, like, I have one of those by my plants.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, sometimes you're just out and about, and you're like, oh, I need that.
Yes. But some things you shouldn't touch. So, like, be careful, because it could be a fae trap.
Oh,
if you don't believe in the fae, that's fine. But I believe in the fae.
And just so everybody is clear, the fae, she is meaning fairies.
Yes.
And she talks about them like they're a gang.
They are. They are a gang. They are.
And
the original nature gang. Like, oh geez.
We will have an episode on fairies.
Like, fairies are wild, y'all.
Yes.
If you're not ready for it, don't be playing around with fairies. Because hide your kids, hide your keys, hide everything.
Anything that shimmers, sparkles.
Just hide it all. So, like, these are very simple things that are not hard to find. You could find the jars and the herbs at Dollar Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Just regular seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, there's oregano, there's, you know, things like that you normally use. Salt you normally use every day that you can use. Some of this is already in your pantry.
Right.
You're always available to yourself, I hope. Don't close off from yourself or go do some shadow work. Nature's treasures. I mean, that's a little...
you can go outside.
Yeah, that's free.
Yeah.
Crystals is the only thing that's a little more expensive.
Yeah.
But some tumbles, are like $5.
Yeah. It just all depends kind of what you're looking for, and
yeah.
You don't have to. And the best part about this is you don't have to go in knowing, oh my God, I need all the crystals. Mm-hmm. You can go in there and literally just get one or two to start. You don't have to have all of them.
Yeah, and like some good crystals that are ones you could start out with. We were talking about earlier how it was like some protection crystals, black tourmaline. I love it. I was telling y'all last week how I feel like black tourmaline really protects my house. So that's a really good protection crystal.
That's my go-to. For protection, that's the one I grab.
Selenite. Selenite's always good.
Rose quartz.
Yes. And that can also be for self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Or love, for everyone in general. Clear quartz.
So I use this a lot. So eventually we'll get into like protection jars, return to sender stuff.
Yeah.
I use clear quartz in return to sender spells because it amplifies whatever you're trying to do. So like I use it in that, but you can, clear quartz you can use
in so many freaking ways. Like it can amplify anything. It can almost always be a placeholder if you set that intention. My nemesis.
Amethyst.
Amethyst is my nemesis, y'all. I'm always getting amethyst. If you were here for the Crystal 101 class, episode, I literally am always getting amethyst. It's honestly disrespectful at this point. Me and amethyst has a beef.
I think that's what I might get you for your birthday.
You better not. I was literally looking at my stuff and I was like, oh my God, there's so much amethyst. I got tumbles. I got necklaces. I got clusters. I got it all. I don't need any more amethyst. I am covered. But people say amethyst is a master stone. Is that what they call it?
It So the way I've explained it to other people, it kind of does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of hits on, helps with anxiety, it helps with this, it helps with that. So like a lot of times, a lot of your problems, say somebody comes and they're like, I'm can't sleep at night, you should try amethyst. Like it just kind of covers a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and especially if you set that intention to, narrow down what it's covering. So, one of your amethyst clusters might be for sleep, but one of your amethyst tumbles might be for anxiety. And, that you might carry that one on you, and the other one goes by your bed. So, like, you can always put that specific intention into that stone.
Right.
And I would say that you need to kind of be one with your stones, kind of hang out with them, touch them. Make sure you don't pick a stone just because you're just picking it. Like, make sure
have
it's
a reason.
Yeah, like it's calling to you. It caught your eye. You keep coming back to that one. Like, don't be like, oh, I'll just pick any old thing, whatever,
right.
Just throw it in there. Kind of have some intention. And even with buying online, you could always, let's say it's a bowl, and let's say you look at it, and then you could always screenshot it, circle the exact one you want, and then put it in there. Or
right.
when you're purchasing it, say, I would like the intention, to be sent to the person that's picking my piece, for it to be the piece that I need.
Right. Yeah, there's always, people tend to forget that you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like Temu, they have like really awesome things, but then they have things like crystals on there that you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like things like that. So like when you're looking online at a actual store that has a website, it's hard because you get scared of those things, but you can set that intention of, okay, help them pick the best thing for me.
Yeah, because not everybody has a physical store beside them, and some are very far away. So our closest one before Candace opened up her shop was an hour and a half away. If you went in state, which is Tulsa. If we went out of state, it was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So before she came here, you had to set up a time on weekend to go somewhere, and
all day trip. Basically.
Yeah, all day trip just for you to go.
Especially
get some
if you
stuff.
had to take your kids and pack
and
them up,
and you got to make sure you got money for food, or you pack food, and it's always a lot. And then they don't want to sit down and not touch stuff, and so it's always kind of hard to do that. So don't ever feel like you can't pick them online. Some people would be like, you can't get crystals online. They have to be the ones that you chose.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be.
No, you can do it online by looking through, and I mean, some places will label, bigger ones like A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah, like towers,
yeah.
they'll label, do you want A, B, C, or D? And you'd be like, oh, D's calling to me. You don't have to do it in person all the time, because sometimes you gotta get it
right.
How you get it
right.
But Candace is super reliable, and you should totally check out her store, because we'll pick the crystal that's for you.
And later on you can always if you're interested in setting up a meeting, we could probably do FaceTime, or we can walk them around too. We could do something like that.
Yes, that is so smart. That's totally right. That's a great idea. So some herbs that you can get as a beginner.
I think honestly they're all good, but I say bay leaf would be because you can use that in a lot of different things.
Yes. You can use them to write manifestations on, and then burn them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you want success in the new job opportunity. You can write success in job opportunity, and then burn that as a way, or you can put them in your simmer pot.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing a simmer pot with whatever fruits or whatever, or you can write sigils on them and then burn the sigils, so that
there's so many ways.
There are so many things you can do on bay leaves. Bay leaf and a Sharpie, you can do some work.
I use them in money bowls.
Money bowls? Yep, you can do that. And you can get them from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a whole bay leaf, and write on them. They're a little fragile, so be kind of gentle with them. But yeah, it's super easy to use them, and it's not super expensive because you get a lot of them. Lavender, yes.
That one's a good one.
It's a good one for sleeping too.
Sleeping, anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I used some in that tea that we made.
Kind of calming.
Yes.
Which, can you get lavender at the store?
Yeah.
In the Walmarts? Probably at Lowe's,
no.
right? I don't know.
Plant farm?
Plant farm and then dry it?
Maybe.
Or you can just order from Candace. Parsley you can get from the store.
Yes, you can.
Parsley you can do. Thyme you can get from the store. Both of those you can get in the seasoning aisle, by the spices aisle. So you can get those already in a little container. You can get either the short one or a big one.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have the dollar ones.
Same with the basil.
Basil, yep.
I'll be right next with all that stuff.
I call it basil.
Basil. It's like
but
the
it's
same
basil.
thing. Okay.
Yeah. I could just call it basil.
Okay.
Because I'm weird. Lemon balm.
I don't think you can get that from Walmart.
Walmart, yeah. I think it's like the lavender where you gotta get it somewhere.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. But if you just want to start out with bay leaf, basil, parsley, and thyme, you can do a lot of different spells, different things with them.
And I'm really surprised salt's not on here.
Yes, salt is number
I feel like
one.
that needs to be. A lot of times you'll see sea salt, like the coarse,
or pink Himalayan salt.
Mm-hmm. But you can get that at Walmart now too.
Yeah, so, and you can do that, and then if you have incense and salt, you can make black witch's salt.
Mm-hmm.
It's called witch's salt or black witch's salt.
Kind of just depends on.
It just depends, but there's so many things that you can do with salt. Salt adds and things like that, and protects, and so depending on what you're needing to do, you can definitely use salt all the time. Okay. And you can even use the table salt, like the one you got in your fridge. I mean, your cabinet with the little girl with the umbrella on it. You know what I'm talking about. You can use regular table salt. So don't feel like you have to have the expensive sea salt or the pink Himalayan salt. You can get a lot of this stuff from Dollar Tree. Dollar General might be a little more expensive. It's called Dollar General, I know, but I like calling it Dollar General. God.
I was trying to be quiet.
Did you notice that I said the Walmarts?
Yes, I did.
But
I just let you talk.
I know it's just Walmart, but where's the fun in that? But yeah, so you can do so many things with so little supplies.
Right. You don't have to go spend $1,000 on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And they do have, so for people who do have extra money and is starting out, you could get a kit from Amazon. Mm-hmm. Whether the crystals in that one are authentic, it just kind of depends on the seller. Mm-hmm. But they have a lot of good herb ones. They have where it comes with candles and a candle holder and all this stuff. So there are good kits that even if you did get a questionable crystal, it wouldn't be the end of the world because you got all those other things. Yeah, so don't ever think that you have to do it the cheap way, but don't ever think you have to do the most expensive way either. They have 7-day candles at Dollar Tree, so if you want to use a candle for some candle magic, or, you know, you can do that. You can put a little bit of herbs in there. And when I say little bit, I mean little bit. Don't be using a whole bunch of herbs. You're going to set a fire.
I have a feeling
I did not.
Okay.
I did not set a fire, guys. I did not. I've heard from other people who have their 7-day candle blow up because they use too many herbs.
Ah.
Yes. So, and you kind of like poke some holes in the top of it and then kind of sprinkle them in there and then light it and let it go. And make sure that if you leave it alone, you need to blow it out.
Yeah.
Don't be out here being nonsense like starters of fire. Arson is not okay. So yeah, so like you can do like little things from Dollar Tree, and you don't have to do the most expensive stuff.
No.
You can make your stuff. Even pendulum boards. You can make those from like the Walmart aisle, or the new Dollar Tree has new craft aisle section.
I know, it was kind of crazy.
It's so nice.
I know.
So you could probably even make it a pendulum board from the wood from over there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you can do your own thing. So, next, kind of a beginner informational is the 4 elements. Or as I like to refer to them as 5 elements. But technically there's only 4 that everybody talk about.
Right.
The 5th one, which would be spirit, is the other.
I really think they should incorporate that.
Yes.
However they want to use spirit in the sense for them.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to have like a definition of a specific spirit.
Yeah. It can just be spirit, because you'll learn as you get into practice that you'll have on your altar, which is what we'll talk about next, you'll have something for earth, water, air, and fire, and you will have something for those, but then also you'll have something for spirit. Mm-hmm. And ask spirit to come in along with the other elements, which your spirit that you call in is going to be different than my spirit. That's going to be different from Candace's spirit. Yep. So that's why I kind of feel like they don't add spirit on there, just because it's different for everybody. Right. But if you wear the pentacle, not the pentagram is upside down. The pentacle is the star with a circle around it. If you wear that, that's what the 5 points mean, is water, earth, air, fire, and spirit. So, but it does look close to the pentagram, we know, but pentacle.
But that just goes to show, too, a lot of miseducational type things that have gone out, and people just assume that it's the same. And
yes, not everybody who wears a pentagram is, you know, down with the devil, which in that would be a Christian construct of the devil that they are imagining, but some people don't even agree with that, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. It would be like a whole like
it'd be
day.
A whole podcast.
It would be like probably episode 5, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it'd be very long. So yeah, so spirit's not in the elements that we're gonna mention, but it's still there. You call in your own spirit, live your best life. I don't, know what your life is, and you don't know what mine is, but don't call in anything bad.
No.
Just call in,
that's why
Mother Nature.
That's why people can't have anything nice, because people do stupid shit.
Yes. They do. Yeah, just be like, when you call in spirit, don't be like, I call my dead great Agatha. Like, dead ain't Agatha is just chilling, like, minding her own business. Like, spirit is meant to be like, your guardians, or your spirit guides, or, maybe your deity, or or like maybe Mother Nature, like just depending on what you're into. But it's not like you calling in an actual person, like phoning in a friend. I mean, you could have ancestors if you do ancestral work,
right?
That like they're on standby, but not just for
like to call your cousin.
Cousin that like bro can't help you with nothing. Like they wasn't good with money in their lifetime. Why would they be good with money in the death?
And see, and that's the thing too. People don't think things through like that.
Yes.
Like, and I really think that it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's still part of their soul.
Yeah.
So it
wouldn't transcend. Like
right.
If you're doing a money bowl and you cast your circle and everything, and you're casting your circle would be putting protection around you, and you have all your elements and everything, and then you call in Uncle Pete, and Uncle Pete was a gambler and gambled all the family money away. Uncle Pete should not be who you're calling in for the money bowl.
That would not be the best for yourself.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because he gonna gamble all your money away. He's gonna make you bet bad, okay? So don't trust Uncle Pete. I'm just kidding. If there's any Uncle Pete's out there, I'm sorry. But yeah, like make sure you're calling in spirit, or if you do work with ancestors, people who were able to help with that. Right. If they weren't able to maybe help with that thing, they can do other stuff. You can call them for other things, but just not the things that they maybe weren't the best in life. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a grandma that was like the best saver and she really knew how to save some money and stack some money, then like be like, hey grandma, you gonna help me out with this money ball? Mm-hmm. But yeah, call people for what they are good at, just like you do in life. Mm-hmm. You don't ask a plumber to fix your roof. So.
And that would go all kinds of bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't have no roof. But okay, so we have elements, and they are all needed. So there's ways you can bond with them. I like to bond with water, which you can do by taking a long shower or bath, make sun or moon water, collect rainwater, and cleanse yourself.
And we all know we like our moon water.
Mm-hmm. Love moon water. I've not collected rainwater
I
yet.
haven't either, but I think that would be really, really neat to do.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be like a kind of chaotic unless the storm was like a nice storm, like
right.
a soothing one.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like chaotic water.
I think my second favorite probably to bond with would be fire.
Yeah, which is the natural opposite of water.
Yeah. But I don't really like bonfires in that sense because I don't like being out there with the bugs.
Yes.
But I like watching it.
You like fall bonfires when there's not bugs.
Yeah.
We like October bonfires when it's cold.
When it's cool and cold, yeah. We don't like to
all
be
the
hot.
mosquitoes are gone. So what can you do for bonding with that?
So you can light a candle, drink hot tea.
Or coffee.
Yeah, coffee would be my go-to. Let's see, activity and exercise. Release your anger and express your passion.
You could also do a bonfire, like she said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught that, but
if you weren't listening.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, even for your kids, if you want them to bond with, the element. If you have kids that are interested in the practice, then. They can drink hot coffee, too. Not hot coffee, hot cocoa.
I was like, do you want them jumping off?
No,
the walls?
I meant hot cocoa.
But yes, that stuff like that people don't really think of. And sometimes you don't see children learning about this stuff because in schools they teach that it's wrong and it's, and it's all about how you're raising your children and if you want them to know certain things. But you can also do these things, like you said, hot cocoa they may not even realize what they're doing per se.
Yeah.
You know.
And like some kids are more perceptive than others. Some like I have, some kids are interested in what I'm doing when I'm doing things or spells or stuff like that. And some of my kids don't care. They could care less that I'm doing a spell or whatever. So it kind of just depends on that kid and like what they're interested in. Some are super interested, and maybe that's like how you can kind of start them out a little bit.
Right.
On that path is just by being like, okay, well, right now I'm bonding with fire, so I'm gonna drink my coffee. Do you want some hot cocoa? And you can bond with fire too. And so that also shows them, not to play with fire, but they can still bond with fire,
right?
Like kind of situation. Or maybe y'all want to like go ahead and like release your anger by everybody can just scream for 5 minutes or 2 minutes and just get it all out.
And then I don't want to hear anything else.
No, yep, and then nothing else. Also, bonding with another one, I would have to say, is earth. Take your nature walk, gardening, grounding, and meditating using herbs or essential oils.
Yes.
I love essential oils.
I do too. It's just I
don't use them enough.
I don't either. And I don't know. I haven't found a reliable source that I really want to like purchase from, and because I don't want to just willy-nilly order some that I don't know where it came from or if it's good or
Yeah. I got some essential oils from the Walmarts. Yeah.
The Walmarts.
Yep. With the nest and a bee in front of it. Yeah, we got some from the Walmarts because we had a humidifier. It was like for like the summertime. No, the winter time. And then we have an air purifier for the summertime. No, or is that opposite? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So either way, you can put the essential oils in them.
Ooh,
so you can put some drops, and the humidifier has a little area off that's not connected to the water that you can change the essential oils so that you could just wipe it out and do a new flavor. Like you don't have to do the same smell every time.
It's not a flavor.
I know. I said flavor.
Well, I
don't
don't want anybody to go taste them because they'll taste bad.
I mean, you are a grown-up and you live your best life. But if you are a child, do not taste essential oils.
Okay, and our last one is air on the
yes.
elements. So, so everyone needs air, obviously.
Yeah. No, maybe. I don't know.
But on this, things you can do to bond with it, it says take a walk on a windy day. I hate it when it's windy. I absolutely hate it. I hate driving in it when it's windy. I hate doing anything because it makes my contacts dry. It's just like, and if I ever actually do anything with my hair, it messes it all up.
Oh my god!
So it's a problem. But I could, see this other stuff. Maybe be creative, express yourself, recognize your talent, stand in front of a fan. I can do that. I can bond with air and a fan anytime. Sign me up.
Yes. So there are colors, the direction, the season, the time of day, the tarot court, which is the suit of the tarot deck, the zodiac signs. So, excuse me, we're going to start with Earth, which the symbol for Earth is the upside down triangle and a line towards the bottom of the triangle, because it's like the ground. And then I always imagine the air is the opposite, so it's a right side up triangle with the line,
almost like an A, but with a bottom on the A.
And that is for the skyline. So the Earth one is at the bottom for the ground line, and then the air one is for at the top for the horizon kind of line. And then fire is just a regular triangle, and then water is an upside down triangle. So those are the element signs. First element, earth.
So the colors for that would be green and black. You want to just keep going?
Yeah, because I'm drinking. I'm drinking water.
So direction for Earth is north. Season would be winter. Time of day, midnight. What do you think that is?
I don't know. Well, maybe because the Earth is like rotating and it's like changing the day.
Maybe so. So the tarot court,
which is the suit, the tarot suit.
Okay, pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Zodiac signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
That's what Scott is. That's what my mom is. That's what one of my sons are. My mom and my son is Taurus. And Scott's a Virgo.
So, alright, so next one, water.
The best element
ever.
Okay, water. Color, blue and purple. Direction, west. Which is where you're from, the West Coast. Look at you.
I know.
Season, autumn. Or also known as fall. The best season. Okay? Time of day, dusk. The tarot suit is cups. And I always remember because cups, you can fill cup up with water.
Oh, yeah.
And then the zodiac signs are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios.
The best one.
The best zodiac signs. So it has the best season and the best zodiac signs. And I love water, so it's a good one.
Fire is next. The color red and orange.
Who would have guessed?
I know, right?
These colors are so spot on. I'm like, who would have ever guessed this?
Direction south. Season summer, which would make sense. Hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what about, you say it makes sense to the northern hemisphere, but to the southern hemisphere, it doesn't make sense because that's their winter when it's our summer.
I don't like it when you make me think.
But are the elements directions changed down there, or the seasons changed?
I wonder
if they flip flop because they're in the southern hemisphere. Sorry guys, that was a
squirrel
moment, and I was that's gonna rack my brain now.
Time of day, midday.
Mm-hmm.
The suit, wands, zodiac signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
My grandma's a Leo. So as you can tell, earth and fire are opposites. One's north, one's south, one's winter, one's summer, one's midnight, one's midday. So they're opposite of each other. Just like water and air are. So air. Color, yellow and pastels.
I like that.
Which is very... Because I imagine because the pastels are so like whimsical and wispy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost like spring.
Yeah. Direction is east. Season is spring. Time of day is dawn. Tarot suit is swords. And the zodiac signs is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So, okay. So, two of my kids are Capricorn. So, and then one son is a Taurus, and my mom's a Taurus. Well, one of my kids is an Aquarius, which is the exact opposite of Taurus and Capricorns, and that makes so much sense.
Because they fight a lot.
Yeah. So, just like water and air, water is west, air is east. Water is fall, air is spring. Water time of day is dusk, air is dawn. And so it's very much a, back and forth opposite kind of thing. And I think that does play a little bit into how people associate with each other too. Mm-hmm. So, earth and water signs might get along better than earth and fire signs or water and air signs. So, just saying.
It would explain a lot.
It would explain a lot. So, you can charge things with the elements. Just like we talked about in Crystal 101 episode, you can bury stuff in the soil, sit them out in the sun or moon, or surround them by, like, so if you're charging the crystals, you can surround them by like other crystals, like what is it? What am I thinking of? Selenite.
Yeah.
Yes. You could put, like, I have a selenite bowl, so it's around the crystal, but it's helping it charge.
I've still yet to charge something by burying it.
I haven't either.
I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just I don't think about going outside,
digging in the ground.
Right. Like,
yeah.
I just don't.
It
doesn't
do
work
it either
for me, but
yeah,
I think it's not a horrible idea.
Selenite is probably my main thing that I use. I just use selenite to cleanse. Charge everything. And I'll do where I sit stuff out in the moonlight. I haven't made any sun water or anything.
I haven't either.
But that seems cool. Water. Soak the items in water. So, one, if it's a crystal,
make sure it's safe.
Make sure it's safe. Just like if it's a crystal that you're putting out in the sun, you have to make sure it's not going to fade.
Right.
So, if it's crystal, make sure you know that it won't evaporate in the water. Sit the item out in the moonlight. Oh, well, I guess the sun would be charged by the element of earth, and the water would be charging by the element of the moon. Okay. Well.
See, we learn things as we go.
We do too. Yeah. Because I would have thought that the earth would charge it if it was the sun or the moon. But it says that the earth is going to charge the ones that are out in the sun, and the water is going to charge the ones out in the moonlight. Okay. You got the next two.
All right, fire. Pass the item over a candle or incense smoke. Place the item close to you while exercising or committing acts of passion.
I did not see that one coming.
I did not either.
Guys, that's what happens when we don't read it all. We scan it. We scan it, and then we get surprises like
this. And then Nicole lets me read it.
I didn't even see that. So, 100%, I do a lot of pass-through smoke.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, whether it's candles or incense, just like smoke in general, you know, when you're saging something or you're using Palo Santos or, cleansing stuff,
So
you can charge it too.
Right. So I would assume when they're talking about acts of passion,
putting carnelian by your bed and doing it.
Yeah.
Charged by your passion.
Next, air.
2 bracelets of carnelian charged by each other's passion together.
Air.
That could be a good book.
Play music around your item.
Oh.
Toss the item into the air as long as you can catch it.
If you can't catch it, don't do it.
Like someone like me, I can't.
She dropped it.
What? Like Scott, will try to
it.
toss something at me. I'm like, don't throw it. I can't see.
I can't see. I'm looking at you, but I can't see.
This also, you can pass the item through smoke or fresh air.
Okay.
So
that is solid. Okay, so those are all really good kind of like starter things. Starter stuff you can buy from the store, and then obviously the starter for the elements, which you can use to help cleanse your tools or charge your tools and things like that, because you will need a cleanse just like you cleanse your mental and spiritual body. You have to cleanse your other parts of your body. So we are now going to talk about types of witches. You don't have to identify as a witch.
We just kind of want to show how many different types that are out there. Even if you don't actually want to say, yes, I'm a witch.
Yeah, like you don't have to be like, I'm a witch. Hello, everyone. Like 100% it can be, oh, I'm just interested in these, and that can be how you find it on the internet. Because sometimes wording may not actually
bring certain stuff up.
Yeah, bring things up that you need. So there are different kinds of witches that you can kind of search up, and then you can get those like spells or what you can do or things like that. So there's the green witch, which is very much outside, green plants, earth kind of thing. They do a lot with plant magic and kind of outside. I mean, even inside, you know, you can have plants inside. But
just think of them outside.
Yeah, I just think of them. Yeah, I just imagine them having their best life in a giant garden, just living their life. Yes, all the vegetables and plants that they could ever need. Which I also sometimes kind of mix them with kitchen witches.
Right, and I think some of them actually kind of fall in together.
Yes.
Like, you can be more than one of these.
Yes, you don't have to, and if you are a witch, you don't have to identify as a specific one. You don't have to be, I'm this kind of witch. It's just for more if people are looking for a certain spell, or if they're looking for a certain thing, then it's easier to find if you're classified with a label. But I look up lots of stuff. So kitchen witch is more of, like it says, kitchen. So they usually infuse food magic. They put, use a lot of herbs. A lot of spells are in the food. And when I say that, I don't mean like everybody's gonna die from the food.
I know.
Like, no, I just mean that, they infuse their love, or
like
maybe they make happiness or self-love. If they're making their self something that maybe they're lacking on, some self-love and stuff like that. Like, they use, like, love, like, kitchen food and stuff like that. That's their love language. Like, that's their safe place. So that's them showing you how much they care, kind of situation. Next one.
Crystal witch.
That is, someone who works with crystals.
All the time.
All the time. And does like crystal grids and stuff.
Yes. And, there's,
eclectic?
Yeah, I couldn't say that word.
I got you, bro. Yes, eclectic witches are like, you can be like you can pick and choose through a whole bunch of stuff. So like, let's say you like some aspects of crystal witch, some aspects of kitchen witch, and some aspect of hearth witch, and then you just combine them all into your own. I feel like
that would be something that like.
Yeah, I'm eclectic. Yeah. If I had to put a name on it, I'd be like, I'm an eclectic witch, just because I pick different things. But if they were like, no, you got to pick one, I'd say divination witch.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. Hearth witch. That is someone who infuses their home with magic. So usually those are people that really find their home a safe space.
Right.
And, they decorate their home how they want and how they feel safe, and they infuse, magic and protection and warding and just all those things, and they really care about their home kind of situation. You can be a modern witch.
I like this terminology too, a modern witch, just because I see that as like your new age type.
Yeah. Well, and also a modern witch could also be like a digital witch. So like you use more digital things. So let's say like your grimoire is digital, or your book of shadows is digital. Your moon app. Yes. Yeah. All the apps. I literally have a folder that says witchy apps. So like it's more of a modern kind of ways, not always doing spells, in the darks of a basement. I don't do my spells in the dark of a basement.
I don't have a basement.
I don't either.
Sea witch.
Yes, I think that's so cool, but we would have to live near the sea.
Right.
Or visit there often, because then we were a sea witch and we never got to go to the sea. It would be very sad.
The intention.
Could have a lake witch.
Hey.
Dead bodies are just floating around.
You guys missed that. Well, hopefully you didn't miss it. But the last podcast, we talked about how we live by a lake. And she thinks there's dead bodies
I know.
everywhere.
They have found them.
And it freaks me out.
Well, they found them and pulled them out. So, but I'm sure there's plenty that are still in there.
Technically, they're not in there anymore.
Grand Lake is a man-made lake. There's no funneling anywhere.
Okay, carry on. Natural witch.
A natural witch. I just feel like it's like very like it comes naturally to you, like
or
it's
like
not,
you're born into it. Almost
Well, that's so. If you're born into it, it's an ancestral witch kind of thing. So it's more of like hereditary.
That's it. We haven't got there.
Yes, hereditary witch. Natural witch. I feel like you don't necessarily have to be born into it, but like. It's something that you 100% like innately know.
Okay.
Like you're just good at it. Elemental, we just went over the elements. They use the elements to, 100 degrees. Divination, different types of divination, tarot, palm reading, oracle reading, bone throwing, bone and charm throwing, all that stuff. Those are divinations, pendulums, all that kind of thing. Lunar and solar witches.
We just talked about that a few weeks ago too.
Forest witch, you kind of need a forest for that. I'd imagine them just foraging around and like eating mushrooms and stuff.
Hanging out with the fae.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next is the fae, fairy witches, and they usually use fairy magic and infuse it into.
We actually met somebody that did that.
Yes.
We bought some pottery.
She was so cool. Yes, we bought some pottery from her, and she does work with the fae, and she infuses fairy magic into her.
And they
pottery.
were beautiful.
It was beautiful. I have it on my nightstand. There are cosmic witches, and I just imagine them astral projecting everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, not really, guys, but not all of them will do the same thing.
Right.
They might, do astrology or
like the birth charts
and things like that. Some might astral project and
that's
travel.
just how we think
that's just how we think of it. You remember the time where my feet grew into the wall and it was a red thing?
It's a problem.
It was a thing. Let me tell you. So there are traditional witches, and I feel like those are witches that try to be I don't know, like as close to as before,
right?
Like
back in the
day, what they used to do,
right?
And solitary witches.
I really like this one too, just because like I'm not a people-y person all the time.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of stuff that I like to do is more solitary
practicing.
Yes.
Yeah, and like some people have covens and it might be just like a group of friends, but like you don't have to necessarily belong to a coven to not be a solitary witch or to be a solitary witch. You could still do things with a coven but still be a solitary witch when you're doing certain things. Like you could go, like we have a once a month meeting, but the rest of the time you're being solitaire.
Right.
Like solitaire. Solo.
I love this one.
Chaos witch.
I would never.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like. And
you
if you
are too chaotic.
And if you do practice being a chaotic witch, that's okay too.
Yeah, live your best life.
But it's just like, I'm like, what would you actually do with that?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not for the best interest.
Yeah, I feel like you would have to know what you're doing to be a chaos witch. Okay, so this one I'm going to talk about, it's a Wiccan witch. Mm-hmm. So Wicca is a religion, and not all witches are Wiccan. So that's why it says Wiccan witch.
Okay.
So don't think that all witches follow Wicca. So, but yes, Wiccans can be witches, Wiccan witches. Celtic, Hellenic, Norse, Slavic, pagan. Secular witches, those are all like where they have usually a religion associated with it.
Their practice, right?
Yeah. So like you can be a Christian witch. You can be a pagan witch. You can be a Buddhist witch. Like you can be these
Catholic,
things,
like
Catholic witches. Yeah. Like you can be any kind of, you can have any kind of religion and be a witch. But not all witches have a specific religion.
Correct.
So don't ever feel like you have to be stuck in that box of being a specific religion, and if you can or can't be a witch. As long as you are still, living up to your morals and aspects,
right?
You're not hurting anybody then. And if you do hurt people, you should not do that. Because that's not nice. And we are being nice out here, okay? We're being good people and having good times, okay?
And we're being nice to people.
Being nice. So yeah, if you want to claim being a witch, then claim being a witch. If not, then don't. And tell your closest friends if you do or you don't. Like, live your best life. You don't have to tell nobody if you don't want to.
Right.
But we love to hear from you guys. I am a witch. I do claim to be a witch. No, I don't eat children to stay young, or I would look a lot younger. And no, I don't have a mole on my nose or am a crown. So I'm just a regular old gal. I don't even have a witchy hat.
No, you don't.
No.
What the hell?
I don't.
Man.
So if you want to be called a witch, be called a witch. If not, you don't need to. Those are some quick little tidbits.
Get out of my head.
Stay out of my head, girl. Those are some like little things that you may need. Always remember that you can get stuff at Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be the most expensive. Right. And that you don't have to do anything a specific way. And you don't have to pick a label.
Right. You don't have to fit into a certain bubble in a certain way. Like, just do you.
Live your best life, boo.
Yeah.
Go into the Walmarts.
Oh my gosh.
No, just kidding. It's called Walmart. She's so boring, guys. Next week, I don't know what we'll talk about. Maybe about altar setups and stuff like that, and tools.
Think altars and tools, people kind of get mixed up on like what an altar is and things. So I think next week we'll do altars and some of the tools that we can use in our practice.
Maybe talk about grimoires and Book of Shadows. That'd be a good one, because Book of Shadows is different from shadow work.
Right.
So, things can be kind of confusing with names. So I think that'd be a nice little kind of informational kind of one. So if you have any other questions, or if you want to tell us what kind of witch you are or how you identify as,
let us know.
Yeah, because I'm always willing to learn more about how other people identify in the world.
And maybe what you guys practice.
Ooh, yes. If you are a chaos witch, tell us how you practice, if that's okay. No pressure. But like, that's very interesting and things like that. And so we'll definitely love to learn more about you and how you practice and what you do. And if you have other words other than like practitioner, or you like to be called something else, let us know, because practitioner always makes me think of like a doctor. I'm a practitioner. I always think of like a doctor.
Like a nurse practitioner.
Yes. Like, I never, like, I don't know. People are like, I'm a practitioner. And I'm like,
of what?
Yeah, I'm like, of what?
I need to know of what.
Witchcraft, metaphysics. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, if you'd like to be called another name, maybe one day we'll use the name that you want to be called.
Maybe so.
But until then, we are having a good time, like, hanging out with you guys, and hope you like our new podcast.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.